Good afternoon, my dear friends. Welcome back to my channel. So happy to have you here. As promised, I have several candle reviews for the next week, the next couple weeks. Holiday is such a premium time going into the new year. So many vanilla, sandalwood, amber, cashmere candles to review in January. And if you're a candle person, you know exactly what it is that I mean. So I am so happy today. I have two extraordinary holiday candles for you. They are two of my personal favorite holiday candles. In the review previous, I did give you my favorite pine / Christmas tree scent, which is from the company Times. Very highly recommend that. And I do have one special holiday candle that is going to drop on Christmas Day, which is probably my OG of all time. But I do have two of my absolute favorites today that kind of round it out. So I'm gonna try to be brief, but if you know me, you know that that's very difficult. And on top of it, I'm talking today not only about two of my favorite holiday candles, but they represent two of my favorite candle companies, period, that I haven't reviewed so much up to this point, but that you're definitely going to hear more from going forward. I'm gonna try to give you a little mini introduction to those two companies. And like I said, I'll try to keep it brief because this is not the last time that I will be talking about either of them. So quickly, the two candles, the holiday candles that we're going to talk about today is, dun, 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 dun. The first one is from Voluspa, and it is crushed candy cane. And then the second one that we are going to talk about today, I apologize, I did not take it out of the box, and I should have, but I'm just gonna show you the box. This is from Illume. The company is Illume, and the fragrance is Winter White. And they come in all kinds of different vessels, weights, ounce combinations, formats, etc., because I think it's their top seller for the holidays. In fact, I know that it is. This is a very special kind of gift box, and we're gonna get to that in a second. But definitely, however much you want to spend and however large and extravagant your candle wants to be, you can probably find it in Winter White for Illume, and actually fairly accessibly, and we're gonna get to that. Let's start out with Voluspa, and this is Voluspa Crushed Candy Cane. I actually introduced this a little bit. I teased it in passing when I reviewed in an earlier video the knockoff Voluspa candles that Huntington Home, which is Aldi, were putting out for this year and are still there. I was at Aldi 48 hours ago, and they had a ton of those Macron candles that are knockoffs of Voluspa. So I did talk about Voluspa a little bit during that time. Voluspa is a California company. I believe that they are located in Irvine, California, and they have like a really big storefront. I think it's their flagship in Newport Beach, California. They do use tins, but you have probably seen most Voluspa candles looking like this. Voluspa made the glass embossed look very popular, chic, etc. This is the OG. You've probably seen knockoffs. There's a knockoff company on Amazon that tries to do this, and various others. You see just a generic candle brand that is anything similar to this, it's because they're trying to knock off Voluspa. Voluspa was the first one to kind of do this. Voluspa's candles are extraordinarily beautiful from a packaging standpoint, and it's my personal aesthetic. This candle company I was immediately gravitated to because they just use the colors and the design materials that I love to look at, frankly. And I don't want to disrespect Yankee Candle, Kringle Candle, Bath and Body Works, etc. They all have their very unique aesthetic, and they're really nice. They, in every single one of those companies, they have some really stunning designs, but they're stunning and they're stunning. And Voluspa has the latter locked up. So they're large tumblers. These are 18 ounce. They tend to be in this glass with like a beautiful hammered tin top. And they also, and I've mentioned this before, they have the Macron minis. These run about $14 to $16. And these are gorgeous too, and they're 1.8 ounces. And then they usually do some special formats. They do love glass. So here's another glass combination that they have. This candle is everything, so stay tuned. We are gonna talk about it. Voluspa Bourbon Vanilla. This is one of those January burns. Extraordinary. And then they also do a lot of tins. So here's a tin right here, Voluspa Olive Leaf. I would say for the money and for the candle, i.e. you're getting more candle for the price. If you want to try out a Voluspa, go with one of their tins. Their tins are generally less expensive. You get more candle for it. Yes, it's not in the embossed glass. Often the tins will have more than one wick. So this one has 2 wicks, and our crushed candy cane. This is my favorite kind of tin. It's very narrow. And it is kind of a shallow 3 wick, and it's fantastic. Voluspa is not great at strength and throw, so these are fantastic for more than one reason. Price, they still look beautiful, and with those 3 wicks, you're really gonna get a maximum strength and throw for Voluspa. They look beautiful as well. And as you can see, this is our lovely holiday, like, this is incredible. Why don't candle companies do this more? Okay, so let's talk about the scent. All of that aside. Crushed candy cane, I've got the blurb here. They've got kind of like a Bath and Body Works-esque situation here. It's not just like a straight up scent note list. So their blurb here is, quote, notes of crisp peppermint and warm buttery scent of freshly baked cookies, unquote. So basically they are saying that it's, to be honest, it sounds like a gourmand candle. And while there are some who would say that this is a gourmand candle, I don't know that it is particularly. I'm not a gourmand girl. I'm just not. And I really love this candle, although it is a little out of my wheelhouse. It is not buttery. This says warm and buttery, and there is nothing really very warm or buttery about this particular scent. It does have a vanilla, but it's not a gourmand baking vanilla. There is nothing even remotely vanilla extracty or bready or whatever else. The vanilla here is a white chocolate vanilla. So it is very crisp and clean peppermint, but not like abrasive or acerbic. And then there's white chocolate underneath rounding it out. And it is a soft white chocolate. And I don't like white chocolate either. But there's white chocolate and there's white chocolate. So some white chocolate, which actually is not chocolate at all, for those of you that know, it's like a byproduct of the cocoa bean rather than the actual meat of it. So it's not even true chocolate. And it's just kind of an admixture of like vanilla and sugar and whatnot. Many vanilla chocolates, because of that, they're just achingly sweet, and you smell it and it just is automatically clogging your arteries. I mean, just smelling it, right? Very thick, very heavy. This is a white chocolate that I'm gonna call a fresh white chocolate. And if it's possible for a chocolate to be bright and almost botanical in its freshness. I know that sounds bizarre. That's what this is. You know how you like get a chocolate bar that's obviously just been freshly poured, and it's just has a different quality than the piece of chocolate that's been like sitting in your drawer like forever and ever, that's maybe a little bit stale. That kind of chocolate. It is so fresh. It is so clean. It is so bright. And because of that, it is sweet, but it's like not overly sweet, if that makes any sense at all. And the peppermint as well. I mean, this is a peppermint and a white chocolate that is just light, fresh. It's smiling. It's so like bright. And it is light. And frankly, the throw is not great. You're gonna have the best chance of the throw in the 3 wick for sure. I have burned it before. They have a beautiful little macaron that's like swirl red and white peppermint. It's beautiful. And I have burned one of those before and I could not really smell it that much. So I'm really hoping that this is gonna do a lot more, and I know that it will. I just know that it will. You've got so much more surface content, et cetera, et cetera. But frankly, even if this had no throw, wouldn't you love to see this on your countertop? This is incredible. It's just a beautiful, beautiful vessel. And it says Christmas to me. I just super highly recommend it. It would make a great gift too. Voluspa has several holiday contributions or candles that generally come out at Christmas time. So they have another one called White Cypress. And it's actually in a green vessel that's very similar to this actually. So it's not like loudly holiday in terms of its packaging. I actually bought one of their little glass ones one year, and I kept the lid because it's so beautiful. And also I thought this is great for, like, you know, you've got those weird like unpackaged votives and you just have nowhere to set them to burn them. This is great for that. But anyway, it's this color. White Cypress is an extraordinarily faint scent, even on Voluspa's Continuum. Like, you cannot smell it. And I like a pretty robust tree smell. So I would say White Cypress is probably not their best seller, and there are reasons for that. They also have another one called Gilt Pomander Hinoki, which is a Japanese wood. And I actually do very much like that. It's a much more robust scent, at least when you're smelling it cold. And it comes in the traditional as well. And I think it's like a kind of a silver mercury glass, maybe. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And obviously it's got a lot of spice, it's got a lot of citrus, and it's got a woodiness. Not a great throw, but that's not Voluspa's forte, to be perfectly honest. And I would stick to the tins if you're gonna get them. Let's talk about price and accessibility. So this baby here, this 3-wick goes for about 26 bucks, anywhere from 26 to 30, depending on your retailer. Usually you can get them on sale either on Voluspa's website at some point. Anthropology does a very brisk business in Voluspa candles. And I think I actually got this at Anthropology this year. They always have a 20 to 30% off across the store or for candles, etc. In December at some point, and I stock up on Anthropology candles. That's when I got the bourbon vanilla, and I picked this one up too, and it was like 30% off. So I highly recommend going to Anthropology, especially if they're running a sale, to get Voluspa that way. And guess what? You can also get them on Amazon. So I'm gonna link for Amazon as well. They tend to run, in terms of pricing, at least the same price as on the Voluspa website, which gives me confidence because I do think that they're probably being shipped from Voluspa to Amazon or something similar, so that you're definitely not getting some sort of third party, possibly adulterated candle, etc. Sometimes the Voluspas on Amazon are inflated a little bit in terms of price, which also makes me think that Voluspa is shipping them through Amazon, and basically they are accommodating, or they are compensating for the shipping, which they would be charging you if you were on the website. But really pretty easy to get a hold of. So $26 for this one. The really cute macaron in the crushed candy cane is $16. You can get a classic 1-wick candle that's like a glass vessel, very similar to the Nest ones actually. And you only see them for Voluspa at Christmas time for that particular scent, crushed candy cane. And that one is 6.5 ounces and it's $26. By the way, did I tell you this is 12 ounces, this one right here. The 6 ounce that's 26 bucks is in that glass vessel, and I really don't recommend it. It's only 1 wick. So yeah, save yourself some money, get this gorgeous tin, get the 3 wicks, okay? Let's move on. Let's talk about Winter White from Illume. Illume, and I'm gonna put the little logo up there so you can see. You see that little box there? Illume. There are many of you who are gonna be thinking right now, I don't know that I've ever smelled an Illume candle. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna blow your mind right now. You have probably smelled an Illume candle and did not know it. And you may actually own Illume candles and do not know them. Illume is a Minnesota company, much like Northern Lights, who I reviewed a couple videos ago. Although Northern Lights is, did I review Northern Lights? I may not have reviewed Northern Lights. Scratch that, I lied. I'm sorry, my mind is scrambled, it's Christmas time. Northern Lights is a Minnesota company that I'm going to review in the future. It is a mom and pop company. Actually, that one is New York. Who was I thinking that was Minnesota? Minnesota. Who would I have been? Please just excuse that. I did review somebody who was a Minnesota company. This is a Minnesota company, but if it started out as a mom and pop company, it is no longer. It is an enormous company. They sell directly to almost every retailer imaginable. I came in contact with Illume because I was working at a yoga studio 10 years ago, and they started shipping in Illume candles on a regular basis. And that's how I became aware of them. And then I just started seeing them everywhere. The grocery stores, they do brisk business selling in multiple formats and varieties in places like Anthropologie, higher end West Elm. All the candles at West Elm, I think, are Illume. And they also do lower and mid-range as well. For instance, I was at World Market the other day, Cost Plus World Market. They have a large variety of candles, many of which smell pretty good actually. And I noticed that they had a candle called Coconut Milk Mango, and I've got that here actually. Coconut Milk Mango is the top seller for Illume. Nobody has a Coconut Milk Mango except Illume that I've seen. So when I saw them, they had a candle called Coconut Milk Mango, and I smelled it, and I was like, this is Illume's Coconut Milk Mango. Like, this is not even a knockoff. This is for sure that. And I looked at the label, and all it said was poured especially for Cost Plus World Market. Usually it will say poured for Target or World Market, and then it will have that little tiny box Illume right on the label, but it's underneath everything, real subtle. It's an Illume candle. So here's like the Anthropologie one. This is Fig Tree, which I actually thought was just like Anthropologie's proprietary, because it just says by Anthropologie Fig Tree. It's Illume. All of the proprietary ones, I think, for Anthropologie are Illume candles, if they don't say Capri Blue on them or Voluspa. Illume candles, when they're sold directly and branded obviously as Illume, they look like this. They're usually in these tins. These are the OG tins that they used to come in, just so, and they still do on Amazon, etc. Very affordable for the most part, more affordable than like Voluspa, for instance, and really a pretty good quality candle. Some of them have better throws than others. Some of them have special throws. Coconut Milk Mango, which is probably my favorite candle scent of all time, is very strong. You can light that thing up in your bathroom and you will smell it throughout the house. So they usually come in tins like these. They also come in big vessels like this. Here's a blackberry absinthe, and it's a beautiful like copper. Sometimes they'll come like that as well. And then of course they do all kinds of other like innovative one-off designs for summer or whatever else. And if they are being provided or poured on behalf of another company, like World Market or Target or whatever else, then they obviously try to mimic the vessels that, you know, would fit in that particular retail decor. Okay, so Winter White. This one I sprang for a super beautiful big one. I'm gonna open it up here. Look at this baby. This is a gift. This is a huge one. Look at this mercury glass. How gorgeous is that? Illume does a really big range of, you know, very moderately priced baby tins, all the way up to really stunning kind of statement vessels. This is a statement vessel, and you will find statement vessels, especially in Winter White, because Winter White is their best seller for the holiday season. They do 3 major candles for the holiday season. They do balsam, balsam and cedar, I think, is one of them, and fireside is the other. So usually they would sell all three sometimes in the same package as like a votive, or votives or little tins or something like that. Of the three, winter white is definitely far and away the best, and fireside is a close second. If you're a fireplace kind of smoky fire kind of girl, there are very few smoky fire scents that are more authentic and frankly more compelling. I'm sorry, I dropped that. More compelling than that fireside Illume candle. So if you're one of those kind of girls, check that out. Or guys. Okay. Balsam and cedar I do not recommend. It's fairly faint for a tree scent, and it's strangely sweet and just kind of mixed with other things. I did notice too, they've come out very recently with a few other holiday candles. They have North Sky, Pink Pine, Wondermint, Bonbon. For my nose personally, they're all a little bit indifferent. Cassis, they've got a cassis one as well. Clove cassis or something like that. Again, I don't love any of those. Winter white is special. Winter white people buy every year. So let's get into the scent notes for winter white. Once again, they have like a beautiful, like conceptual little like thing they want you to get into. Quote, this is how they describe it. Aromatic evergreen and frosted cypress are dusted with white peppercorn, spicy cool cardamom, and a sparkling citrus nuance, perfectly wrapped in glowing amber, unquote. It's a lot. It's a lot going on. And frankly, it's a lot to your nose too, but it is so well mixed. It is perfect. It is a perfect holiday Christmas candle. I don't know what else to say. It is very dominant with, it says aromatic evergreen and frosted cypress. The dominant notes here are of pine and of evergreen, for sure, 100%. This is a more robust pine candle than their balsam and cedar, frankly. You get more tree, actually, in this one, which has a lot of other things as well. So I would say mostly evergreen and frosted cypress. If I had to say what the top, the mid, the base notes are, the top is evergreen. And it is, I mean, this is one of those like one of those conceptual descriptions that actually is fairly authentic and true, in that there is something frosted and sparkling to this particular scent. It is a sparkling tree, and it's hard to put your finger on what it is that makes it a sparkling tree. I do think there is possibly some dry citrus, like maybe a lemon over the top, but it's not something that you would smell and say there's citrus somewhere here. It's just lending it, I think, maybe a bite and, for lack of a better term, a sparkliness. That's your top notes. Those are the most dominant ones. Your mid notes, though, are spicy. Your mid notes, but they're underneath. They're not trying to compete or overpower, but underneath you do have pepper and you do have cardamom. And they're gorgeous. They're not adding a whole lot of like aching sweetness. It's not a cinnamon. I mean, it's just a really sophisticated spice. And then right on the bottom, but certainly filling everything out, is amber. And that amber is just making everything glow and come alive. And you know I'm an amber girl. So there is partly that. But honestly, this is their holiday bestseller. Everybody loves this. And I really don't think you'll be disappointed. And I don't care if you're a gourmand person. I don't care what it is that you like, honestly. This is one of those cross, broad appeal candles that you smell it and you just think, this is Christmas. There is nothing that is more Christmas than this candle. And it's pine on top of it. So it's like all of those things. The only thing that's missing in this that might be a little bit Christmassy is like berry. It doesn't have berries in it. So reserving that for Christmas. On Christmas Day, I am going to be dropping the berry candle that is the OG Christmas candle. It's the only thing that's missing. I mean, it's a tree scent plus. It's got a little plus sign because it is, an amazing candle. And if you can get like a special pour of it, even better. The ounces on this one, this is a 22 ounce. It's a 22 ounce. I can't give you a price on this because I'm not entirely sure what the price is, but I'll find it out and I will link it below. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got this off of Amazon for like 22 bucks. Because it was like February or March of some year. And you know, they just had a lot of their holiday stuff on clearance. And I was like, are you kidding? And I bought like 3 or 4 of them. So the price does fluctuate a great deal on Amazon for Illume candles. I don't think that makes them adulterated, but I think it goes to show you that that company is so huge. They have no way of controlling what retailers do with their candles, after they've got them, which means for you as a consumer, you can usually get a really good price on them. So I'm gonna go ahead and link below a whole spate of Amazon winter whites for you in various different combinations. Definitely do some searches yourself though, if you wanna pick that up. I do highly recommend Fireside as well. I may put that link below. If you are a hearth or fireplace kind of smoky person, you enjoy a scent like that, definitely check it out. It's a great burn for the fall. It's a great burn for January. And then I will obviously also link to the Illume website itself. Thank you for your patience. I love these candles and I love these companies. You're gonna hear more from them. But these two particular, Voluspa Crushed Candy Cane and Illume Winter White, just really take me to that special place. And there are companies like Kringle, for instance, I'm looking at you, who have, I mean, look at that. They've even got like, the name of their company is like Christmassy. They have a backlog. What is it like? It seems like almost 50% of their candles, and they have a huge backlog of candles, 50% of them are holiday or winter combinations. And I can speak very highly to most of them. But these two particular ones, just really, really special. Thanks for joining me, my friends. Enjoy the next few days.